Hi, this is a video showing the Quantum VR-007 goggle set for quadcopters. This is version 2. There's a version 1 that has a resolution on its display is 480 by 272. The version 2 has a bit better. It's 800 by 480. What I have it hooked up to is the Hubsan H107D Quadcopter. This quadcopter comes with the transmitter that has the video display on it already. This display is here, so you can fly it that way, but this video is about this headset. The first part of the headset is its modification. I'm going to show you in kind of reverse order. So let's first start with, well, how do you connect the headset to the transmitter to get the display? There is this connector here that comes right off the back of the display. Both of these are video input. This is video 1, this is video 2. It doesn't matter which one you use. Then this cord plugs into this display to the top one. This pin out here, just one second here, this is ground, video, and then the outside pin is 5 volts. It measures a little bit less. That's how you get the video out of this transmitter into the goggles. Then the goggles are powered up through the other connector, which looks like this. The center pin is positive and the outside is negative, and then it hooks up to a power supply, which I'm just using one of my old battery packs. The battery voltage in says, I think it's 7 to 13. This is a 3S pack. It lasts for a long time. So it all works very well, but I've done some modifications to the goggle set, and that's really what this video is about. The first modification is, so I think I should show you if you can see here. Let's see that, and then here's a picture of my TV, I guess. So having said that, I'm going to power this down. I'll just leave it on. So the first modification I did to the Quantum VR-007 is the display. There's a slot inside the foam that the display goes to. As you can see here, I put it on the outside, and that just makes it a little bit farther away. But for those, I'd say the drawback to this is it's very hard to focus on the display the way it is when you get it. So the second modification is to also move it farther away, and for comfort is I've attached it to a set of goggles. You'll see this set up on plenty of different places. So I'm going to start taking this apart to show you how it's all built. So this neoprene comes off. It just slides off. Like this. Here's the display that's just held onto the outside with these straps that are provided. I got the cord kind of running through here to make it a little more convenient for myself. So let me kind of put this together a little bit. So the foam piece that goes inside that looks like this. I have attached a set of motorcycle goggles to it. You can see the RTV right along there. Maybe you can't. The RTV right along here. So, and I have not glued the two halves together for the instructions so that I can take it apart anytime I want. And I've only glued the top part to the goggles, so it simply comes apart like that. So let's start with the top. I cut the lens out of the goggle set. I've glued the top part to it. You got to do a little bit of trimming here and there, but not much. It's kind of surprising. The only thing I did that's probably a little bit different is I left some of the goggle lenses here and there so that I can glue the goggles to it. Keeps everything straight and lined up. Takes a little bit of fitting, but then you're all set. The other part of the modification that I did that comes a little bit trickier is when you do the reading, this slides back and forth to do your focal length. And for me, I had to slide it back farther than it would normally go. So normally, this Fresnel lens, these tabs come straight out here. They just clip right on. But I've moved it back an extra that distance so that it'll come back closer to my eyes. You can either do this modification, or you can wear glasses, you know, those magnifying glasses, whatever you call them. Just want to warn you that to slide back that extra little distance, you need to cut out the nose piece right here, which doesn't matter because you now have goggles on here. That nose piece doesn't mean anything. It's quite a bit of ways. So with these two modifications, that you can slide it back closer, and you put the display instead of in the groove here where they tell you to, you put it out here. It changes so that you can focus very easily. You don't need glasses, and you can move it back and forth and get exactly where you want. Without this modification, everybody brings it up as close as you can. It just was almost enough for me, but not quite. Having that said, with these two simple mods, the goggles and being able to slide the lens back just a tad closer, really makes it a nice setup. I'm having lots of fun with it. I'd like to warn beginners here that flying through the goggles is not as easy as it looks. You got to kind of take your time and kind of learn how to do it. This guy is the Hubsan H107D, which has a video camera already built in it. So this quadcopter with the transmitter with the display built on it's like 120 bucks. And the goggle sets, I think it's 60 if you're going to fly FPV, forward perspective view, I believe it stands for. This is probably a beginner's set, about as cheap as you're going to get away with. Quantum now makes a version 3 headset. The reason I didn't purchase that is they went back to the lower resolution display, which is again 480 by 272, versus the V2 has 800 by 480. I'm not sure why they did that. The other thing is, even though this is set up so that you can put your battery here and your receiver here and all that stuff, I chose not to do that. I want to keep all the weight off there I can. So this battery is going to go in my shirt pocket, and the transmitter is my hand, and I just have these cords that just dangle down to the transmitter that I'm holding anyway. So the part that goes on my head that has the weight on it is as light as it's going to be. It's just going to be the display and the lens. I put the goggles on to do two things. It makes it much more comfortable to wear, and it also gives you a little bit more distance. If you're got really good eyes and you can really focus on something close, you don't need to do this. But the double advantage is this nice foam, and it fits all the way around. These goggles weren't very expensive. They're ARC goggles, and I bought. They almost look like they were made to fit this thing. Took very little trimming to get this to glue onto the top half. And this way I can take it apart, do whatever I want. Works out very well. I guess that's the end of the interview. I would have to say these modifications make the system very well. It's very immersive. Now I just have to tone up on my skills of flying first-person video. Thanks.